Mod time is here, and boy oh boy, today is so much easier than yesterday. We got 6 mods to look at as opposed to the 61 that we got yesterday. All platforms got 2 new, and PC and Mac players got 2 new and 2 updates. As always, timestamps are linked down below, and I'll actually be able to go into depth a little bit more in each mod today and show it to you a little bit more in depth and hopefully give you a better idea of what to expect when you download it. So let's jump right in. Starting off today, we have a new one for all platforms, new map. It is called Rolling Meadow. This is from David Merriman. They've released 2 other maps as well. They have New Endeavor 4X and they have New Hope. You may have heard of New Hope. It's a pretty popular one. So Rolling Meadow has 71 farmlands, some with forestry, some with fields on them. We do have some new crops on here with rye, millet, mustard, lavender, and poppy. It is precision farming ready, but technically everything is. I'm not sure what they've added to make it ready there. Collectibles are on the map as well. They placed a sawmill and BGA. Both could be purchased, restaurant on the river to sell, and warehouse logistic to buy your building needs, which is, I think, copy and pasted from the base game. To be fair, most maps do that, so nothing too wild and crazy there. You may notice from looking around the map, this is a build-it-yourself, a DIY map. So you will be taking stuff, doing it, do your thing. It is kind of nice because it does kind of nudge you in certain directions. You know, down here we've got a field, but we have this entire area where, you know, you might do something. We've also got a sell point here, so depending on what we could do here. Is this a sell point? It is in the base game. Oh, yeah. There's our trigger over here. So we're cool. So you may want to do stuff down here. Is that a smiley face? Almost looks like a smiley face. You may want to do certain things at certain places on the map. We also have a massive road system that goes through it as well. We have pathways and a road. The road goes from the very bottom, almost in the direct middle, all the way up, and then curves off to the right and goes off at the top right-hand corner, leaving the top left-hand and the bottom left-hand of the map pretty exposed with everything. So that's nice. Also, the background, got a cup of coffee there sitting on a piece of wood. I think that's neat. All we get in new farmer mode is this area right here. Also, with this one, everything is going to be in squares. So you will be buying squares of everything. Just a heads up. There are a few places that are not squares, though, like this definitely is. And we own areas all through the water, which can get a little bit weird. Then we get into town where these are just smaller plots. But it does look like we can own almost the entire map with the exception of the road system. You can own the water. So that's pretty cool. Down here are your new crops. We've got rye and blue, millet in orange, mustard in a tan, lavender in purple, of course, and poppy in a very, very bright red. Here is your crop calendar, so this should give you an idea of what you could do and when you could do it. No animals are on the map. We do have lots of contracts, and I don't know if it's because of a mod that I've got installed or maybe the map itself. However, well, we got a bunch of fertilizer contracts for $0. So there's that. We've also got like a deadwood contract down here for 14 grand. So that's pretty cool. It's got some great contracts on this map. We do have 2 production chains, the biogas and the sawmill. Both of those are down. However, we don't have anything that is owned by default. And if we take a look at our vehicles, we get some pretty standard stuff. And speaking of all of that standard stuff, it is just hanging, chilling in the middle of this area. So there are no buildings owned by default. You will have to put your own down. One good thing though, no required mods. So 2 thumbs up. There you go. Rolling Meadow by David Merriman. You know, it's nice when we don't have 60 mods released in a day. I can actually go and showcase an entire map and feel good about it. Yeah! Let's move on. And your only other new one for all platforms today is going to be the Taylor Attachments Viper Silage Fork Pack from Ross in Mods. Again, Ross is releasing quite a few mods recently, and I am loving it. We got 2 in here. We have a 3350 and a 3000. However, that has nothing to do with the literage. The 3350 holds 5,000, and the 3000 holds 4,500. The larger one will run with your wheel loaders. So you have the wheel loader attachment on there, and that is it. And as far as the 3000, this will run with wheel loader, JCB Q-Fit, and telehandler. So you are able to use it with a few different things. It holds a little bit less, so that I understand. There are no colors or anything like that, though. Ooh, and it's got the cuts right there. It's pretty cool. These are silage forks at the end of the day, so you're not going to be running anything wild and crazy in them. Your manures, your forage crops, things like that. Oh yeah, and the 3000 also runs with a 3-point. I don't know if I mentioned that. It totally just went over my head. I'm noticing a bit of a problem with the map. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my attachments. I bet this was a good idea at first. However, quite difficult in practice. I think we need to change where things spawn for the next update. See if we can scoot this little booger in here. I think we can do it. Best backwards driver in Farm Sim, at least self-proclaimed, for sure. So these tailor attachments, they've got a little bit of a party piece. Shit. Get out of my way, lady. Check this out. Boom. It'll actually push the stuff off. So let's say we got 5,000 liters of chaff right here. We'll bring it over, just kind of see what happens. Looks like nothing. Let's see, we can dump, so that's good. Can we just push? We can just push? Hey! All right, now that is handy. I like that. Now we get to talk about new ones for PC and Mac players. We have the Royer PE32. This is from Agro Design Modding and NicoDo 55, which is very, very cool. We got a license plate up there, but it looks like that is going to be it. There is no auto load, nothing like that. It is just trailer. As far as the trailer goes, we do have a blinky on the back of it. Whenever we unfold, we get some supports that go down. And we are able to raise and lower the tongue as well, which actually moves with the back of the trailer too. Very cool. Again, we mentioned not auto load, probably more for moving things rather than items. Things are items. Those are the same, right? Yeah, those are the same. And we do have tension belt straps, which get closer together the further back you get. And your other new one for PC and Mac players today is not this tractor. No. It is the license plate to it. This is License Plate Manager. So it shows a list of all owned vehicles and tools in the license plate section menu. Compared to FS22, the FS25 version changes a few things. You can now set it up to follow up license plates. Just click on the existing, I don't know what word that is, license plate to give your tool the exact same license plate, which I mean, to be fair, the game does by default anyway, but that's cool that you could do it manually, I guess. And you could buy a vehicle with the same license plate, but it will be marked on the list, which is not but, and it will be listed. I think there's a translation issue there. It is from the corpse play team, so I don't think they speak English by default. But yeah, nonetheless, that's pretty cool. You know, we got a couple things in here. We can just, boop, click it, and then it has the license plate, which is very neat. I dig that. All right, let's end it out today with a couple updates for PC and Mac players. First one is going to be all Decorative Foliage. This is going to be version 101. They've solved a problem with the dedicated server not starting at the first time. Optimization of the creation routine. There you go. Build menu entries now show the mod name, and prices are now calculated based on the size. This is a very cool mod, definitely one that I keep installed on every single game save. And lastly, we have Forestry Helper. This will be version 1005. They fixed an issue where the length indicator would never be shown on thick logs, very thick logs. Added French translation. They've also had a Brazilian translation. Fixed a mod conflict that would spam the log, and fixed an issue where the information box would display mismatching labels and values sometimes. And there you go. That is everything I've got for you for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, get subscribed if you're new, and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check those notifications. That way you never miss videos like this one. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.